Blog Talk Radio.
The motherfucking saga continues.
Yo, what's up, world? It's badass thuggin' like I usually do, and you better turn it up, bust some speakers out, cause we off the motherfucking cuff. You dig how we do it? Dogtown Gangsters 2000 and beyond. Blah.
What's up with it, y'all? Man, don't change that down. This your player partner, the legendary Cocaine. And you tuned in live to Off the Cuff Radio. Better not touch that down.
Yeah, this is Cassidy, the hustler. And right now, you listening to the Guillotine. Show them the respect they deserve, man. Off the Cut Radio, man. Y'all already know how they doing it, man. I need y'all to stay tuned. They've been doing it for years, so show them the respect they deserve. And you heard it out of bars, mouth. Easy.
Keep it moving like this. Yo, this your boy Rampage. You're not rocking with the best. With Off the Cuff Radio. Classic. History. Fix your face to all you haters. We off the cuff, baby.
What's up, everybody? This your girl, Bonnie Dollars, the Queen of Trap, representing Crenshaw, and you are now tuned in with Off the Cuff Radio. What's up?
What's up, y'all? This is Miss Irresistible, giving a shout-out to the livest show on Friday nights, Off the Cuff Radio. And I'm live from the 704. Make sure y'all tune in for the blazing hot music.
What it ain't, what it do. It's Chili Chill from that original Lynch Mob. And Off the Cuff Radio, always where it's at on Friday nights. West, y'all.
Monster. So this is America, huh? Listen. Come on. I told Braun, I like piff and shit. Right state, I'm a law-abiding citizen. Living, raising my kid until one of y'all tripping in this cap. Oops, upside your head. Gilligan, listen. Telling I'm still in the ville with all my gorilla friends. I ain't trying to look like I'm winning, I'm trying to really win. Pretty chick convinced you to cross me over Benjamin. She could dime, but she stupid. Simpleton, enough of the silly shit. I can really, Militant got a military, but not a million. Scratch that, holla babe, bro, Mike Million. Left the big shit in the whip, but snuck the 9 million. It be spitting like blah, blah, like it's talking gibberish. In the event this shit gets serious, ignorant, really tripping. Give them the business trip with the shits.com. Go on, get your membership. And I'm a gentleman, sweet sentiments from my women friends. I don't give a shit if the pigs listening to me kicking this pistol shit. I ain't out here pissing on chicks and making no Vince McMahon. I ain't sneaking pills and no drinks and then sneaking dick and shit. I ain't Weinstein and no bitches just trying to get in flicks. Then the pigs blatant with this killer shit. Zimmerman, innocent, selling autograph packs of Skittles, bitch. Pastors, bishops, sick, they got witnesses. Miss me with your censorship. Make some sense of this shit for me. Help me get a grip. Till and train out women and kids with guns and extended clips. I said when I'm rambling, this ain't just penmanship. Sometimes I lose myself in ancient Eminem, R.I.P. Breonna Taylor. That was some bullshit they did. Round the shot for all of them fucks like I'm feeling generous. Rest in peace to Breonna Taylor. Rest in peace. We gotta protect our women, y'all. Forgive my foul language. We gotta protect ourselves. They've been declared war on us, nigga. Monster. This is Monster Nation. Sean is on America, huh?
You are now tuned in to episode 409, the 409 of Off the Cuff Radio. We steady hitting y'all over the head with these bangers, dope content, exclusive interviews, and we just getting started. I am your host, King Eric, and I have my other co-host, T-Max, with the facts in the building.
What it do? It's Friday night. OTC up in the building. Formula 409 is episode all the time. We here. We back again in another week of wonderfulness. Shout out to our co-host, Mr. Heltah Sandman, Lady Chinchilla. We are sponsored by Buddy Boy Entertainment, Da Vinci Clothing, Jesse's Boutique, Core Financial, Dirty Basement, Radio. Man, we are back. We are back.
Yeah, and you know what, though? But check this out. Now, there's a number on the line here, and it could be two possible numbers. So
okay.
It could be either our guest of the night or it could be one of our supporters. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to do two intros just for the price of one, just so I can get it out of the way and make whoever on the phone feel good.
Yeah.
Whoever calling for the 562, first of all, we appreciate you for supporting us over the years. Yes, we go over your
Long
head.
Beach. That's Long Beach right there.
We go over your head every time when it comes to the wrestling cancel. And we gave you the name Black Power for a reason. But anyway, we appreciate you, bro, for supporting us and being down with us, even though we don't agree with everything, but it's all love, man. And tonight's guest, this is probably going to go down in one of my personal favorite interviews because this cat here, a part of the boot camp clique, one half of the legendary Heltah Skeltah, and founder of the Monsta Nation. So there, I gave two intros for the price of one. Which one of y'all is it? 562, you on.
Yo.
What it do?
Yo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's good, man?
Can you hear me? What it look like? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What it do?
What's going on, man?
Rockness Monsta in the building. I had to do two for the price of one because somebody had that same area code. He's a follower of our show, so I had to do two intros to make just in case he could feel good.
Right. I feel you. I got you. Yeah, but it's Monsta Man Rocco, Boot Camp, Heltah Skeltah, Monsta Nation, Fab Five, all of the vintage classic shit. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir,
Yo,
man. This is one of my favorite shows right here, man, because you've been, and that's just me saying it as a fan, but you know, you've been one of my favorites coming up, man. From when I heard you on Nocturnal, Magnum Force, those were like the soundtrack of our teenage years right there. So we appreciate the contribution that you brought to the culture.
That's what's up. Appreciate y'all.
Man, look, this is a thrill, man, because, I mean, you know, along with Wu-Tang, you know, Fat Joe, you know, all of y'all, OC, Nas, I mean, y'all really, really helped shape that 90s era hip-hop in terms of that golden era, man. I mean, and, of course, you know, what y'all did with Heltah Skeltah collectively, you know, shout out to Smith & Wesson, you know, Tech and Steel, we interviewed them as well a few months back. You know, y'all made y'all, you know, introduction on their album The Shine. And then, of course, y'all really got to shine when y'all dropped The Floor, Let's Fly, and Skoska. Dude, I remember I first heard that, I was like, oh, my God, this shit is totally dope, man. I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it. We were just kind of following the blueprint. We was kind of following the blueprint that was laid down before us. Like, you know, we saw Juice Crew, we saw, I don't know, BDP, so to speak, and Hit Squad before they split up and they was Def Squad and Hit Squad. You know, like the crew, you know, the rap super crew or super group followed a certain blueprint, and we was just, you know, like. It was like, you know, one group came out, you know, one artist came out, then another one, and, you know, and so on. And then they you know, all of a sudden you had a whole movement on your hands. And we was just basically trying to, you know, we was trying to do the same thing. We thought that was the way to do it until Wu-Tang. You know, Wu-Tang did it the other way. They brung the whole group and then they split up, you know, did the solo shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they changed the game. They changed the game in that respect.
Right. What was it like in terms of just watching those groups come up in that time? Because you talked about the group, the construct of it in terms of how everybody, you know, EPMD, of course, like you said, Def Squad, Hit Squad, you know, when they split, I mean, what was that 90s era of hip-hop like in terms of you as a fan before you initially before you decided to make, it a career?
Well, first of all, Hit Squad broke up in sometime in between 92, 93. I remember because I was locked up just at the time. And, you just never forget those dates that you was locked up, those in dates and out dates, right? So I remember when my man showed me the Source magazine that was highlighting, that was covering the fact that they split up and shit. And that shit was heartbreaking because you never seen that before. Like, Hit Squad, Goose Crew or BDP, they didn't have an official breakup. Like, they just came out and they did their things. They branched off. And I don't ever, really remember no announcement that they was breaking up. But when the shit happened with Hit Squad, it was a big deal. I felt, as an inmate and as a fan, I was just, I could remember myself sitting in the dorm, really, with my feelings hurt about this shit. Like, what the fuck? They had that picture with all of them. It was at the Promenade. I believe it was the Brooklyn Promenade and shit, where they all had their backs turned to the camera. Shit, that shit was fucking damn near a tearjerker. You know what I mean? So you felt that shit.
Yeah.
You saw that. You as a fan, you appreciated and valued and looked up to that strength in numbers. You see a crew of artists. They keep adding chips to the fucking. They keep adding pieces. Building blocks to their movement. You like, this shit is crazy. Like, you feel that shit. You feel them it's hard to describe the feeling, but you hype off of this shit. You're like, these niggas ain't playing. And then when that shit just all of a sudden when that shit ain't that shit no more, it's like, what, they breaking the what? It's just like, what? Get the fuck out! Like, it felt like like a breakup. Like we the kid. Like, we would, when you the kids and the parents is getting a divorce. That shit hurt. You don't know. You like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? So that was that effect. Like, when in that era, when all of those shit, you felt that shit like it was your family breaking up.
Yeah, man, and it's crazy because this is because I have every issue of the Source since 1994. Now, this was the year before I started reading the Source, exclusively, but I saw it in the passing issue, Rock. And the only thing that was crazier was them breaking up because if memory serves me right, like you said, man, it was during a time where you saw a lot of these crews, there was never, like you said, breakups. It was just kind of like everybody amicably just moved on to the next phase of their career, but it was never like, fuck you, nigga, we not doing this. But the article,
I mean, granted, NWA showed us a nice breakup and shit.
Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. So that was NWA was the first, and then EPMD came next, and we were like, and when I read the situation behind EPMD, that was like, I mean, when they talk, I mean, we can only speak on this, because it was already documented, it was already put out there in an article. I mean, you're talking about, like, the money wasn't right, then niggas running up in niggas' houses and shit, and we were like, yo, we was bugging, like,
the album name was Business Never Personal. I was like, damn.
Yeah, so we felt I felt that as a fan, you know what I mean? Like, I was a big fan of their movements. I definitely felt it. Like, I was hurt. Like, I knew them niggas. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't.
And pretty much.
Going off right quick, man. Like, there's a lot been going on in 2021, and for people that already are familiar with you, tell us what you got going on in 2021 when it comes to projects. I know you're doing the Monsta Nation podcast, which is pretty solid.
Yeah, it's actually called the Monsta Mondayz Podcast. You know what I mean? Well, it's on Dash Radio, and Dash don't like it when we call it a podcast, so we'll just call it the Monsta Mondayz Show for right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, I got that going on. I'm finishing up. Like, I just finished up an album on I got this album with my boy Ron Browse, super producer Ron Browse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ether Boy.
The album is called the Ether Boy. The album is called Ether Rocks. You know what I mean? And that's just about finished. We just basically like mixing, mastering, putting little bells and whistles on it. All the recording is for the most part is basically all finished and shit. I think we're gonna record some skits and shit, but that shit will be out before September. And so we got that. I got another album I'm working on. It's the M3 album, stands for the Man, the Myth, the Monster. You get the 3 M's, the M3 album, and all of that. But we got that. We it's just a whole bunch of shit. I would ask that people stay focused on the next thing up, which is the Ether Rocks album and shit. That and the podcast, because that's going on right now. Everything else, it'll be, I'll be reminding you about all of that shit pretty much every time y'all hear from me or speak to me. But right now, it's the Ether Rocks album. This shit is stupid. You know what I mean? Me and Ron Browse, we came together. We started this album actually 3 years ago, but like life hit us, and then the pandemic hit us, and so it took out. Time flies, but you're gonna get it now, and this shit is serious. It's serious. I really want niggas to check this out, because it's like a coming out party for me. Coming out, pause, but it's like a stepping outside of the box party for me and my man Ron Browse. People look at Ron Browse and they think of Mr. Pop Champagne, and they forget about the fact that he did Issa, the fact that he did I Whoop Your Head Boy by 50 Cent, the fact that he did Ebonics by Big L and all of that. And people hear Rockness Monsta and they think of all grimy boot camp shit, grimy Brooklyn shit, and they don't understand the fact that I'm probably boot camp's fucking biggest party animal. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I like to have fun too and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't just like dirty, grimy beats. So it's both of us getting to step out of the box that people so-called put us in, and I think that's dope.
Man, it is.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I got one of our co-hosts from back in the day. He want to chime in for a bit. Heltah Sandman, what's up, brother? We got Rockness Monsta from Heltah Skeltah in the building.
What it look like? How the brother?
Welcome to the winner circle. We all winners here. We all winners here.
I love it when niggas is up in tune with the new shit, because I was just having a conversation with somebody literally about a few hours ago. It was like, a lot of artists from the vintage era, like they may, some people may call it old school. I like to refer to it as vintage. But, the 90s era or whatever, like we perform, and a lot of the fans, they want to see us perform all of that 90s shit, and they don't really have an appreciation for all of the shit that we did since then. But that's how we eat. That's how we feed ourselves. That's the way we continue the legacy and shit. You understand what I'm saying? But
right. So, I just want to say this, my dude. Like, I've definitely been a listener of your music ever since, man. Forget about it. One of my favorite albums is Magnum Force. You already know.
That's peace, and that's 100. And I salute all of that. But every artist, any artist, we always appreciate it a little bit more when, whether it's the fan, whether it's the whoever, when they are at least in tune with what we're doing. You understand what I'm saying? So to come on here and y'all talking y'all winner circle shit, y'all played America, and all of that. That's a big deal, because that's pushing the shit forward. You got a lot of niggas talking this hip hop is dead shit, talking this the state of the hip hop. Hip hop is fucked up. No, it ain't. It's just mainstream media is fucked up. But hip hop been alive and kicking the whole time. It's just, the mainstream media don't pay attention to it, and they brainwash the people into thinking that the only thing that's out there is, niggas popping bottles, money phones, doing drugs and dudes wearing dresses and man purses and shit like that. And that ain't it. You know what I'm saying? That ain't it. It's other shit out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we wanted to play that record, man, because it's volume to what's going on currently, man, and that it's a very important record that needs to be heard.
Which one?
America, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I let my heart bleed on that one right there. And I still like to find the space to throw some bars in there too. But the point is to say something like I intentionally said something important in that shit because I don't know, I don't listen to a lot of hip hop, so I don't know how many people spoke about what I spoke about from that angle or whatever. But fuck that, it don't matter. It was on my heart and I needed to say it because shit crazy out here, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that it is. And one thing about it, man, is that, a lot of times people, to see that you are a distinguished veteran, and not only a veteran, but a certified legend in the game, Rob, to see that you, have always maintained a social conscience is refreshing in the game because a lot of artists, especially today, some of the newer artists, they don't really have that pulse on what's going on in society. But for you to articulate it in such fantastic form with a ferocious flow about your feelings of what's going on is something that is needed. It is essential. That's the water of wisdom that grows, the next generation.
You got a lot of artists that's, like they eat off of mainstream America. They controlled by that shit, You got mainstream America pays their bills. Mainstream America don't necessarily pay my bills. They may give me some chump change here and again, but the underground pay my bills. You know what I mean? Like it's underground that support me, so I can say what I want. You know what I mean? I could be true to myself, and and I would say what I wanted anyway. That's probably like the industry is the industry, and like a lot of times the fans and a lot of the artists. They get this shit twisted. This ain't our music industry. Hip-hop is our music, but this ain't our music industry. So, the people who control this industry control the message. So it's hard to get a message out there that's going against the establishment. So luckily, I'm a nigga who got real respect. The people, I don't rap to the dumb, deaf, and blind. Like I rap to people who got common sense. And, that demographic is growing. You understand what I'm saying? Like in real life, like the 5% nation, 5%. The term 5%er used to represent the woke community. It was like 5% of all of us who actually are aware of the fuckery. I'm speaking in layman terms right now. In my personal opinion, I feel like that percentage has grown. You know what I mean? It's probably up to 20, 30, maybe 35. You know what I'm saying? Percent, maybe even 40, because like times is changing, like the, shit is being revealed, and with that being said, that my, the audience for my message is growing. You know what I mean? So I don't have to placate to mainstream America. If I make a song, which I do have songs about, like I got a song off the M3 album called Bartender, where it's me in the club having a fucking ball. It ain't nothing hardcore about this. Well, I mean, my bars is always hard because I don't know how not to rhyme hard. But it ain't nothing like cool or woke about the song. But I did the song because I wanted to do the song, because I heard the beat and the hook and I felt it, not because I wanted to fit in. It's not because I wanted to make a radio song. You understand what I'm saying? Not because I want to play the game. Like, I don't have to do that. I did that because that's a piece of me. But when it comes down to all of the renegade shit that I'm going to talk, all of the revolutionary shit, all of the half-ignorant, half-woke shit that I'm going to talk, like, I don't have, the audience for that is growing. It was only it used to be only 5% of the population that was interested in that. But I honestly feel like that that percentage has grown. So fuck it. That means my money grow, and I'm going to keep doing it.
That's what it is.
I want to ask you about this, right? With that video that you and Sean Price, you already know, rest in peace with Surprise, you already know that. That video that y'all did, where y'all was dressed like the Mohicans and the Indians, like one of the most creative videos ever. Like, how did y'all go about that? Like, what gave y'all the idea to basically be Mohicans and Indians and stuff like that? What gave y'all that idea?
Well, in all honesty, that idea came from Buckshot and Drew High. I'm not sure if it was Buckshot and Drew High or if it was Drew High and Buckshot, but it came from them two. You know what I mean? We originally shot another video for that song, and we didn't like the video. Long story short, like, you know, we had paid a lot of money for that video, and, you know, like, we paid for all kind of special effects, and what they gave us was camera tricks, and we just felt like camera tricks and special effects ain't the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference. And so what we did, we scrapped that video and we did another one. You know what I mean? You know, in all honesty, like, the whole concept came from Drew High and Buckshot. You know what I mean? I don't know what gave them the idea, but that's probably an interview you should have for one of them. But they gave it to us, and we loved it, and we ran with it. Because, you know, me and Sean Price, being, like I said, like, we had knowledge of self at an early age, so we knew. Like, you know, how do I go into this without fucking running on? We knew the significance of the, you know, all right, we understand that all of the black people in this country ain't from Africa. We knew that then. You understand? We knew, you know, we understand. We were well-read enough to know that some of us were here before the slave trade. You understand what I'm saying? And even so, what that being said, or that not being said, like, all of that is us. So when Drew High and Buckshot came to us with that idea, we was with the shits, and we just ran with it. It didn't take much convincing at all. We just ran with the shit because aside from all of that shit, we knew that it would look nice. You know, visually, I knew that it would be dope. You know what I mean? I like colors in videos. I don't particularly like black and white videos. I love color. Even though I have some black and white videos. Even though I have some black and white videos and photos, but I prefer the color ones.
That's what it is. I mean, it pretty much
that song came out in summer '96. I call it Bloody Summer '96 because that was where you had all these crazy releases and everything was going into a different swing, and that made you guys stand out, even to us. It made you guys stand out to us in Carolina. We was like, oh,
that video around that time. That video was just like one of a kind. Because nobody knows no type of video like that. But, you know, he's at the bonfire.
We was always willing to go against the grain because as a crew, ourselves, like we would have, like in our mind, we was the coolest shit going. Like, I don't give a fuck what came out. It was something about it that we could make fun of. We didn't feel like we had that with us. We felt like we was the kings of cool. Without saying that, we felt like we was the coolest shit going. You understand what I'm saying? So we didn't have no problem with being silly in a LaFly Skolsky video. We didn't have no problem with showing that side of ourselves because we felt like we didn't need to prove to you we was tough because we believed we really was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Like, that's like one of the main things I loved about Magnum Force when it came to you guys skits and interludes, like the dude, like, yo, with the 3 keys. So
right,
I know who that man.
Niggas was talking about real keys, nigga, house keys, right? Because that wasn't like me and Ruck wasn't on no fucking drug dealer shit. That wasn't our shit. That wasn't no Heltah Skeltah shit. We did it, but we was around it. So we played with the idea, you know. It's just fun. It's fucking around.
And then Sean P, he picked up the keys, like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, all right, now, talk. Hold up now.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, man, it's just crazy, you know, because, like I said, I've been listening to your music heavy for, like, forever, you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. I'm marking out. You know what I'm saying? You always been a hero to me as a youngin. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Always listen to your music and Sean P. You know what I'm saying? So it's just an honor for you to join us on Off the Cuff Radio.
And I appreciate it, bro. Real talk. Because I'm still out here doing it.
I would say this. If you listen to Sandman's music, I could tell there was some inspiration of your flow in there. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's a little bit. That aggressiveness, that aggression.
That's dope. That's dope. I appreciate it.
Like
I got that.
I ain't having that shit. Yo, shit goes down. Time to show up. It's a showdown.
Peep game. Like, all of this shit, I could tell you where all of this shit came from that I do. There was 4 niggas on the East Coast and there was 4 niggas on the West Coast. I say this every chance I get. I want to get them brothers they props. 4 niggas on the East Coast was Kane, Rakim, G-Rap, and KRS-One. They gave me all of the flow I needed to build off of. And the four niggas on the West Coast was Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, MC Ren, and Eazy-E. They gave me all of the aggression and attitude that I needed. Absolutely. Those were my biggest influences. Those were my building blocks. And then after that, you know, to give like niggas like Redman, Method Man, and Busta Rhymes, them get them they roses too. They helped me develop, you know, fine tune some of my shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they was tall, high energy, aggressive rappers, and you know those were things that I you know, those are all things that are true about myself. And you know, and as a youngin in this game, it was like, how do I, you know, navigate? Like, you know, I'm wild tall. Most of my friends is short, so it was all shit that I learned from those dudes. Like how do I, what do I do with all this length and all of this shit? And I learned from the niggas, and they helped me perfect my shit. So props to all of them niggas. You know what I'm saying?
One thing about it, Rock, when you mentioned Cool G Rap, and that touches me especially because Cool G is like my favorite MC of all time. I don't think that man gets enough props for how he influenced. You know, I mean, that man just, that nigga just like totally influenced.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us are sons of G-Rap.
Yeah, man, I mean, you know, and when you think about it, I mean, when you know, tell us about, you know, from the genesis, you know, from the nascent, you know, when you started picking up that pen to write in terms of, you know, how it, you know, from that very beginning of, obviously you just said about who influenced you. You know, tell us about those early writing sessions in terms of really developing your style, you know, and then ultimately, you know, how you would eventually, you know, become the legend you are today. And I mean, did you know when you came on the scene that you were a part of that flowing history of all this legendary music that would come out during that time?
Nah, you had no idea. There was no way to know that you would be, you know, that you was going to be part of something that would be talked about forever. You hoped it. You know, it was it was something you wanted, but you didn't know. You know, by that time we had already seen a lot of rappers come and go, so it was no way to really know.
Right. Right. So so tell us about those writer sessions. How did you end up getting, you know, how did the group Heltah Skeltah form? How did y'all end up getting on Duckdown? I mean, and, you know, everything else. I mean, what was it like in those early days?
Well, you know, like we were, you know, obviously we were friends from the street first. You know what I mean? Me and Pete knew each other since we were kids, but we wasn't friends. Like our mothers knew each other. But then we linked up later on through our friends in high school. Like I got kicked out of my first high school, went to a second high school, and I ended up in the same homeroom class with a nigga that if that nigga knew how to rhyme, him and Ruck would have been a group. They were close, like that. You know what I mean? But he didn't rap. But he was in my homeroom, so he led me to Ruck. You know what I mean? And so we ran with each other doing dumb shit, doing street shit at first. And then eventually, you know, we just, you know, it was like, yo, come on, B, like, we should be a group. And like he had a partner and I had a partner. But, you know, it was like it was clear to see that this made the most sense. So, you know, we slowly but surely eased around to that. You know what I mean? But I was already running with Tech and Steel, and Tech and Steel was already running with Buckshot. So the pieces just came together naturally, slowly but surely.
Well, shots go out to boot camp, man. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, but when we think about it from, you know, late 92, early 93, you know, with Who Got the Props, you know, with Black Moon, you know, and then y'all would come like a year. I mean, because one thing about it with Duckdown when they came in, Rock, was just it was just this crazy, like, you know, because we're all children of that era, you know, so we're seeing, so in that 90s era, hip-hop is still, you know, in that non-corporate, you know, kind of underground phenomenon. You know, it hasn't, if you were really into the culture, you were with it. And Black Moon, what Duckdown did, they really, really, I think at that time epitomized the essence of what underground was. Into the stage drop.
But truth be told, like, listen, truth be told, like, Black Moon and Smith & Wesson both got raped on their first albums on Nervous Records. So it's like, while the people didn't realize that the corporate fuckery was happening already, the hip-hop, it was in effect already. Hip-hop contracts are designed to fuck rappers. You know what I mean? The word didn't start getting out till later. But, it was why Black Moon and Smith & Wesson only put one album out on Nervous Records. And then they started to move towards getting their own label because they was already getting raped.
Man, pretty much what did you learn from those early days? Because obviously, like you said, you were privy to all of it, especially being, because you were close to those guys, so you saw everything develop as it did. In terms of contracts back then and now, what did you notice in terms of how business was conducted in terms of certain things artists back then didn't know and what artists need to know now that they may not know? I learned
that the whole shit is rigged against you as an artist. You know what I mean? Like, as an artist, as the word, when it comes to the word fair, you know what I'm saying? Something being fair, shoot yourself in the head when it comes down to the rap industry. Because ain't none of this shit fair. Like, the contract is designed to fuck you. So, like, the independent game is the best thing that ever happened, where it's like, all right, you going independent, you might not be a superstar, but if you work hard, you can be handsomely rewarded for your efforts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whereas if you fuck with a label, you can become a superstar and still not be handsomely rewarded for your shit. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You just won't be a household name, but you might still be broke. You're gonna have people running around. Everybody in the streets know who you are, but you can't afford to buy a round of drinks for your crew. You understand what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? Like, everybody said it's a celebration, bitches. Round the house, around for everybody on that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You know what I mean? But on some independent shit, it's different. So, you just learn that's the biggest lesson you learn. You don't want if you ever become if you lucky enough to become comfortable with not being a super duper star, and you just like, you know what, I want to get my point across, and I want to eat off of getting my point across. I want to fucking support myself by doing what I love. Lovely in this shit, you know what I'm saying? And that wasn't possible back then because niggas didn't know how to do it. Niggas didn't even.
There wasn't like a platform, like nowadays. Around that time before, we had to go on the street corners and freestyle and battle to get heard. Nowadays, all you gotta do is turn on your computer.
Right.
And when you look at it, too, pretty much, from a historical context, the only other rapper I can think of in the 90s that was really doing it independent at that level was, of course,
Master
Too
P.
Short started it. Master P, he was one, and Too
That's
Short,
like the late
of course,
90s.
E4. And of course, E40. It was sick with it because he had a distribution deal with Jive, but that was just in terms of what he paid for distribution. But in terms of everything else, all that was his. In terms of, him putting together the product. Shout to Sugar T, Be Legit, D-Shot, all of them, what they were doing out in the Bay.
Right.
And, of course, like you said, what
was
he was doing, because with No Limit,
Yeah, that was around the time when everybody was on the Please Listen to My Demo phase. Like, people just wanted to get their voice.
Yep. Y'all here? Y'all here?
I ain't know what that was.
Hello?
Hello?
We just checking. Everybody here? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, King. What were you saying? Go ahead, King.
Yeah, I was saying that this was around the time where a lot of people would just want to be heard because Yeah, if you want to be heard, you will guarantee to get a slot on TV. You will get a big MTV and BET push. You'll be a household name. But at the same time, your pockets ain't going to feel like $1 million. You got $1 million name, but you ain't got $1 million in your pocket.
Mhm. Absolutely. Like to this day, like I mean, like yo, like you put out a rap album and they give you points on the album, like that a point, like points, like you get amount of points that shit equal pennies on the dollar. Like niggas was selling albums back in my day for $16. You could get a CD. A CD, of course, is $16.
Right.
And the rapper didn't even make a whole dollar off of this shit. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like that was the coldest robbery ever, B. Coldest robbery ever. It was just set up for you to fail. So, you know, like fuck that, B. Like, you know what I mean? If any artist, I say this to any artist trying to come up in the game, you know, a lot of them, like, they haven't caught on yet. Everybody still wants to get signed. If you could get signed to a 1-album deal or a 2-album deal or some shit like that, I would say do it. Because when you get to my age, you don't understand 2 years equal 5 minutes to you. That shit go by faster than a motherfucker, right? But if you a natural, if you got this shit in your bones, in your veins, you can get these niggas this album or 2 and then be gone, because they're going to make only, like, whatever money they invest in you, they're going to, only way for them to get that money back is off of your record sales, unless you sign a 360 deal. Then they're going to want it off your shows, your everything, right? Your merch, all this shit, which is crazy. Well, it's not that crazy, because technically Duckdown, we did that before the 360, because Duckdown was our label and our management, but that was because we was all homeboys and we didn't trust nobody. So it was like, listen, ain't nobody going to do this but us. You know what I'm saying? But if you in that predicament and you only got, like, you know, if you could get a 1-album, 2-album deal and be able to secure yourself some kind of control, then I wouldn't be against getting a deal, because what they're going to do is make you, you know, with that label push, they're going to make you, you know, they're going to make your face famous, and that's currency. You know, fame is currency. A lot of people don't look at it like that, but if you know how to hustle, then your fame is worth money. You can use that shit to leverage you all kind of new shit. Like, that's why Cam and, you know, Dipset and a lot of dudes, you know, 50 Cent, like niggas take that major label buzz and they go independent and do well, because what the one thing that the label can rape you, it can rob you, but one thing it can't do is take away your fame that they already gave you. It can't unfamous you. You understand what I'm saying? So you can use that and leverage that into, you know what I'm saying? So if you get a quick situation, a little quick in and out situation that you feel like serve you, then do it. You know what I mean? But get the fuck out of there quick. Get out of there and do your own shit, because these niggas is raping and robbing. You know what I mean? And that just is what it is.
That's what I was about to ask you, like, you know, because, you know, contracts, you know, some contracts that have, like, years, like, how long you can be with that particular label for how many years. So, like, what's your stance
I don't know
on
what
that?
they offer. I don't know what they offering niggas these days, because I ain't been looking for a deal in over 20 years. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, if you could get something quick, if you could do something quick, then do something quick. You know what I mean? Let them give you all of the push they're going to give you, and then bust a move.
I would say that I would ask you this, though, right? What if a person basically got, you know, the big fan base already? He or she is popular on TikTok, SoundCloud, Apple, what may have you. Should they still sign that same deal? I was asking, what if that post? You get it? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I was asking basically, what if the particular person was popping like on a TikTok or SoundCloud, Apple, whatever the case may be? They got a big fan base. What the hell? Y'all can hear me? It's man loud.
My bad, y'all. I just walked past this restaurant. Shit is, they got all the Dominican shit going crazy, right?
I ain't know what to say. That's I was like, this phone, make sure nobody looking. Because we talking some heavy
that shit
stuff.
got different just now.
All right, so I'm gonna sum it up. It's a short question. Like the artists, like basically, would you say that same thing for artists that's been out there, like a TikTok, SoundCloud, Apple, whatever the case may be, that has a big following? Would you tell them to make that same deal?
Yeah, if they could secure it. You know what I mean? But
because,
I mean, like, don't
because they already have the audience, right? That's the reason why I asked.
Yeah,
they already have the audience. What would they need the label for if they already have the audience?
I mean, even if you already have the audience, like I said, it still don't make a difference. Like I said, if you could secure a situation that works for in relation to what I just said, then it don't matter because you got an audience, but your audience ain't as big as the audience that label going to get you. Label should actually like what I'm saying. I'm giving them a shot because in real talk, niggas is like in real talk, niggas is moving away from the label. It's like niggas is able to do it on their own. Like I said, if you don't give a fuck,
that's why I asked that. That's why I asked that.
Yeah,
because people is, with social media and all that, people's actually doing it themselves.
Yeah, like I said, it all depends on how big your ego is, what you want out of the shit, how much fame. Like, you got some, like a lot of people, they be dying for fame until they get it, right? They get it and they can't handle fame. You got some people who may put more thought into it before they go that route. You know what I mean? It's like, and once you look at, you look at what's going on now, you see how fame affects some people in a negative manner, and you like, you know what? If it was me, I would just want to do this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's wild, Rob, because when we look, because what you said about, how you, how you haven't, had to look for a deal in over 20 years, and I think about guys, like the Locks, who pretty much are independent now, when you look at Cormega, when years ago, because of course we all know the story about what happened at Def Jam and what happened with Testament when that was recorded. I know, rest in peace, to Chris Lighty, this is not shading him. It's just, it's very well known that him and Mega didn't particularly like him because he felt like, Chris didn't believe in his vision. And Mega was like, and when he decided to start Legal Hustle, it's like the record ended up blowing up when he did it on Land Speed, and he did like 150,000 copies. And he was one of those guys. Yeah, go ahead, King.
Yeah, I was saying that's because at the end of the day, you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe and bet on yourself, and he already had an audience.
Exactly. And it's like when the album dropped, when the realness dropped, we were like, yo, and it's like, and this is before social media, like really, this is 2001, when Master Ace dropped Disposable Arts on J-Core, one of the dopest albums he's ever done, and a hell of an expensive one if you can find it today.
Hello?
But it showed.
Hello?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
I lost y'all. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hello?
Can
y'all hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
How much did y'all hear? What I was saying was, I was just saying basically, if you could find that situation that, that's agreeable, like I said, what I'm saying right now, this is my own analysis. And, in a week from now, I might have a debate or discussion with somebody who might be able to tell me something that I didn't know. And I'm like, you know what, that makes sense.
Hello? King, we got him?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, he's still on the line. I think he's trying to get through.
Okay. We just gotta get him back in.
A Sandman's call got dropped. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still on. So hopefully we still got him on. So hopefully we can hear him when he gets back on. When he gets back to his square. because he was moving around.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we just chop it up until, he get back in, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, but I mean, like you said, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Did y'all hear me? Did y'all hear everything I said? I don't know how I keep going to hold or some shit like that. Did I cut out?
You cut out a little bit.
You said,
all right.
Last thing you said, like, if you can find a situation that is agreeable, you said if you might have a debate with somebody if it makes sense. Yeah, go from there.
Right. So, like, if I might have a conversation with somebody tomorrow, and they may say, they may give me some useful information that I may not know or whatever. But as of right now, I stand by what I said. If you could get in and get out and take their promotion and leave with it, do it. But just know independent is what you want to be eventually.
Yeah.
That's a fact, brother. Hey, and to go on for a minute, man. I mean, this is where a part of where we want our audience to know the importance behind what this man brought to the table in terms of lyricism and in terms of content and in terms of his stock in hip-hop history. We want to talk about your brother, Sean Price, and what he meant to the culture and hip-hop, because we have a young audience and we want people to know from your standpoint, how much did he mean to the game and how we sorely miss him?
I mean, P was the illest nigga ever. Like, I say that, it's easy to say that, but, any youngin who, if you Google P, if you go down the Sean Price rabbit hole, then you will see all kind of testimonies from people of talking about how hilarious he was, how kind he was, how foul he was.
Hello? You cut out a bit, Rock. King, we got him?
Yeah, he cut out a little bit. He should be back in a little bit. But I wanted to bring that up about Price, man, because that was one solid dude.
Yeah, he was, man. I mean, you figure the impact that he still has today is still so profound in terms of, man, there's never going to be another like Sean Price. I mean, that's just what it is, man.
I remember when I seen him around in 2000, I think it was 2004, 2005, and they was about to start recording for the Monkey Boys album. Saw him at the Crabtree Mall, big dude. And we just did the head nod and kept it moving, but I was like, yo, that's the legendary Sean Price.
Hello?
Yeah,
you back, bro?
Me? All right. Yeah, my battery is dying. My phone tripping. Can y'all still hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Hello? Yeah,
we can hear you.
So, yeah, he rapped better than all you motherfuckers. He was funnier than all you motherfuckers. At the same time, he was the type of the nigga who gave me his shirt off his back so I could throw up in because I was drunk. You know what I mean? Like, good dude. Like, real talk. You could take two Sean P-isms and, you could take two Sean P slogans and run your life with them. One of them is, don't hate on nobody, don't wait on nobody. Another one is, if you can't be used, you useless. You could take he had tons of them. If you take you can take those two and navigate your life right now. Real talk.
Man, we talk about E40 with his slang, but it's like, Sean Price had his own. We really could have, man, dude, we really could have used that Sean Price book of isms, man, because I mean that's those phrases you just said were powerful right there.
I got my own set of isms, but that ain't up for me to give them to you. I give you one. If you don't change nothing, ain't nothing gonna change, right? That's one.
That's
right?
true.
But on some
that's true.
Like P, tons of them. You know what I mean? And any two or three of them could get you through the next 20 years of your life. Can assist you. So listen, yo, like brothers, my phone is dying. I'm out in the streets right now, and I don't know how much time we got left. So it's
all good, bro. It's all good. We chopped it up for a good hour,
welcome back
man.
anytime. You're welcome back anytime.
No doubt. I'm on the East Coast now. Listen, holla at me. Like I'm here. Like I'm about spreading this message. You know what I'm saying? Like I was all, through the 90s, I was all about spreading this gutter shit. I'm evolved and I'm grown, and my gutter shit has evolved. It's a message that I'm all for sharing. Like I'm all for progression now. So at any given time we could do this again. We could do this whenever.
Definitely,
bro. Definitely, man. And I mean, it's an honor for you to join us, man. And we're gonna probably set something up for the coming month in August. Definitely welcome to come back home because there's a lot of gems you give.
Hey yo, once again, I apologize for all of the, this is the sounds of Brooklyn right now. I'm walking through East New York on the side where it gets Spanish, where it gets Latin, and that's life has a soundtrack. I've always said that. You're hearing Brooklyn's soundtrack right now.
No problemo, jefe. Gracias.
Yeah, man, we're going to definitely set that up for next month. We're going to have a part 2 coming, brother.
Yeah, let's do it when the new album come out. Easter Rocks will be out in August. Rockness Monsta and Ron Brad.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's talk about the album when it drops. Let's do it again.
All right.
Definitely.
So, so on that note, we out of here. Big shout out to you, my man. And we will be back
Love
here
to
Sunday.
All man. I appreciate that. Appreciate the opportunity and the look and all of that. We here. We can do this whenever.
Most definitely, brother.
All right, y'all have a good one. To all listening, take care. Appreciate y'all. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all here with us. Rock on.
Definitely. And King, before we sign off, we do have to give acknowledgement, man, in terms of giving our,
I think we got a caller on the line right here. We got a 757 caller from your area.
Yo.
Vizo, that's you?
Yo.
Yeah, that's me.
What's up, man? What's going on?
What's going on? How y'all doing?
We're good. What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much. I just, called in just to hear the interview and everything, man. Y'all did an excellent job. Y'all did a great job, man. I'm happy for y'all. I'm proud of y'all, man. That was a great job and stuff. And I told you, he's cool. Definitely, hit him up again, and he going to drop more gems, man. But, that was a great interview. Really good interview.
Man, look, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate you for the alley-oop, man. And, look, King, Bezo about to hit it on the next level because, he had an interview with Soledad O'Brien last week, man. So Bezo is like going up like elevators, man.
Yeah, man. But I'm still humbled enough, man, just to listen to y'all, man, and whatever contacts, whatever I have, whatever I could do, I'll, put y'all on to it. Some future stuff I got going on. And I will toss a few more alley-oops to you. I talked to you guy from Woo. He told me to give him about like a month or two to do that. I talked to a boxer from Jersey named Dylan Price. His peoples. I'm doing an interview there, so I'll see if I can kind of push that to you as well too. Appreciate the Sky Zoo. We're supposed to do Sky Zoo pretty soon. So, yeah, definitely, we all family, man. Just whatever I got, boom. Whatever you got, boom, and there it is.
That's what it's all about, man.
Definitely.
It's about making sure every other platform do well. It ain't about competing. It's about eating.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly. So, I'm a big fan of y'all, man. And just keep on grinding, man. Thomas tell me that. T-Mac tell me that all the time. Keep grinding. Don't give up. It's hard, but keep grinding.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
But I'm about to head up out of here, man. I got to charge this phone up, too. I think we've given so much heat that it done messed our batteries up.
Definitely. But before we go to, we do got to give out our condolences, our blessings, our love and respect, for the loss of Biz Marquis, man. Rest in peace, legend.
Nobody beats Biz. Nobody.
Man, always and forever, man. Biz is gonna be, he's gonna be that dude, man. So it's that's why we do. That's why you do what you do. That's why we do what we do, because not only is it part of giving information, but it's also documenting history and giving much love and respect to our legends while they're here. So, as long as Bezo-ness, Page Turner Entertainment, Off the Cuff Radio, Screwball Radio is here, we all collectively are going to be, careful curators and repositories of all things relevant to the culture, making sure that those bouquets of greatness are always bestowed upon, those that are with us.
Indeed.
And on that note, I guess, we out until next week. We thank y'all. God bless. Tune in next week. We got another terrific, time lined up for y'all. So let's get it on the next hit.
Yes, sir.
And we out.
We bar.
Peace.
Yo.